there's no bishop b2. Okay, one is nasty.
Traps the bishop.
Oof. This was missed. This was missed and Carlsen resigns.
Yeah, it was also missed by us. Completely unexpected. Wow.
Bishop.
In round 19 of the World Blitz Championship, Magnus Carlsen, who was leading the tournament by 1 point, lost to Sarana Alexey from Russia. It was a painful loss because it was a comfortable lead for Carlsen until then. He lost in 24 moves thanks to a 1-move blunder. The opening was a Queen's Gambit. Sarana went for Queen's Gambit and Carlsen declined it. Let's breeze through the opening. Bishop f4, the London, e3, bishop f5, c6. And here Carlsen decided to spice things up a little bit. And that was the move that cost him the game probably. He played h5. Too weakening. Nowadays, everyone plays h5, but with black, it's difficult to go for these kind of things. So Carlsen pressed for more against his slightly weaker opponent. And that's why he would regret this later, this h5 move. Bishop d3 takes. So Sarana just plays standard chess, just controls the sender and prepares e4. Knight moves, knight comes out, knight c7, and pawn e4, controlling the sender. Takes, knight e6, and castles. The white has a very comfortable position, and black's pieces are like a little bit stranded. The rook doesn't know what to do. What about castling? The bishop is yet to come out. The h-pawn is too far out. Bishop e7. Carlsen gets ready to castle. h3, castles, and rook d1. Again, continuing in the same spirit, just bringing all his pieces into the game with a good sender. Carlsen plays queen d6, attacking b2, and here Sarana went for the central pawn push, e5. The knight moves away, and this gets the white position ready for an attack. If you see, all the pieces are well placed, and here comes takes, and knight g3. The attack is about to start because h5 is hanging, and if you defend it, which is what Carlsen did, then comes bishop h6. All sorts of sacrifices are in the air. If queen d2, there is even sacrifice like rook takes or even knight takes. All these ideas are in the air. So instead of pawn g6, Carlsen had the option to play knight takes bishop and then pawn g6. That way the queen is connected to the king side and one attacking piece would be off the board. But he went for g6 directly, and now bishop h6. Carlsen decided to give up an exchange to kill the attack. So takes and takes. This was actually a good decision to give up the exchange. Now there's not much attack. Without that bishop, the attack is pretty much stopped. Black's pieces are well placed now. So Carlsen has a pawn for the exchange right now, but his pieces are active. And he can take a pawn over here next if Sarana doesn't defend. Sarana plays rook b1. And here Carlsen had the option to go for queen d4, the endgame. Queen takes, knight takes, rook takes on b7, and bishop c5. Opening up an attack on the king, a discovered attack threat. So there was enough counterplay for black in that line. But Carlsen goes for queen a2 because of a miscalculation. What he thought was after rook b7, rook into b7, he can again go to the endgame with queen a3. That's what he thought. But he absolutely overlooked something. Can you find out what was it that Carlsen missed? Carlsen missed that after queen takes, bishop takes, rook a1 just traps his bishop. The bishop has nowhere to go. It just trapped. And here Carlsen resigned because he's going to be a piece down. So instead of queen a3, which was the blunder, he should have played, here after rook b1, he should have played queen takes d4. He was counting on queen a2, queen a3. If that doesn't work, he should have gone for this. Because now it's equal. Takes, rook b7, bishop c5, and everything is held together firmly. So here, king h1 has to be played, or king h2. Yeah, and then you can just go for h4. Things are defended, and there's a pass pawn as well, and the knight is active. And f7 is guarded pretty much heavily. So this was holdable. But he went for queen into a2, and that cost him the game.